and only one defensive midfielder for Onik, Frank, Varela, and that positioning on the forwards, Lautaro Martinez, Marcus Thuram, the main forwards, you know, are really, really good. But let's see, out wide versus out wide, who will be able to use the fullbacks. That's the key. That's the key. The fullbacks running the attack. Here we go, Harry. It's time.
Well, we'll look out for it, Alex. Those fullbacks could be the difference between two compatriots here, the two Indonesians, to open and raise the curtain on our FC Inter club event final. Some last check from the side of Frank. Thank you as well to our adrenaline referee on the stage, Sergio, making sure everything is ready to go. And now we are ready. The club event finals kicks off. It is Frank versus Sakti in our group stages. Match number 1. It will be Frank in the home strip attacking this right-hand goal early on, and it's a first strike! And it is the first goal! And what a goal it is! Shaking the defender off nicely, and we said he was one of the favourites. Was at the World Finals last year watching. That would have hurt. He's combating now for his chance to return there. And Philip Frank into the lead.
A lovely pass from Marcus Thuram, and one of the most dangerous parts in Immobile is just the edge of the area. Piotr Zielinski with that double tap, that finishing, putting the lead from Frank, which is starting in a solid way, and let's see if he can go for the second one.
Yeah, just 5 minutes into our club finals. And it is Frank who introduces himself, the 22-year-old. Surprisingly, this is actually his first club finals appearance. Can you believe that?
That says a lot of how difficult it is to reach this stage. No, at the end, you have to be the best on your region, especially Southeast Asia is plenty of superstars in eFootball Mobile.
Now a chance for Sakti after conceding early on to maybe venture forward, but Frank wins possession back in his favour, and it's just so patient.
Looking for Lautaro.
Kind of return favour. Here is the goal scorer, Zielinski. The ball is bouncing everywhere inside the box. Luckily for Sakti, it's up the pitch now.
He's having a hard time, Sakti, to clear those chances. The pressure is still really strong from Frank. That he's looking forward to get that potentially a second goal. Look at the control there. We turn around waiting for the perfect moment to go through. Now,
nice
Çalhanoğlu.
Good job by the Turk, Çalhanoğlu, and now fed through to Martinez. He can be very deadly in front of goal.
Oh, it's nice.
It's Çalhanoğlu. Saved.
Pretty interesting. Now that could be mostly the rhythm of the game. Frank controlling the possession, and then Sakti approaching those mistakes, the pressure, those counter to make suffer his country-mate Frank.
Well, as time goes on in the season, we've seen set pieces be very, very beneficial for some. We'll see if Sakti has practiced his, and well, curse of the commentator there, I think, Alex, that one is all the way out.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive, no? That's such a long throw with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, which we all know how good he is with free kicks and the corner kicks. It's pretty impressive, no? Since the last update, Harry, how important the positioning of Demiev, a defensive midfielder, took part in a different role, because the last addition in the last update, it means like the passing, it takes more importance depending the stats of low pass and long pass. So now,
nice dummy.
That was nice. So what I was saying is like having a good passing player on Demiev is really, really important. That's why they are using Hakan Çalhanoğlu and a special card with Demiev position and anchorman and his playstyle.
Well, conceding to him at one end, Sakti has now positioned the goal scorer for Frank in an advantageous position. Chance here to recycle the attack as well.
No control at all. It's now Frank having a hard time to defend. Now the chance is Sakti!
It is game on here as Martinez tucks it home nicely. And the man known for his console play has scored and equalised against one of the best mobile players.
Yeah, we saw 1-2 times in a row Frank rushing the clear, not in the best way. That's giving many chances to Sakti to get that superiority. And then also the matchup wasn't that perfect from Frank. Well approached by Sakti, get on track, 1-1. And it's a lot of time to go already in this first match of the day.
2 goals in the first half between these two.
He's missing a lot of matchup. And that could be the second! And what a shock it is for Frank. What a way to turn over the table. Sakti with a wonderful through pass. And it seems to be Frank missing a lot of matchups there, not catching that ball. And Lautaro once again putting the second for Sakti.
Just won that physical duel at the back, didn't he? And as soon as he did, you just knew. You knew Martinez would stick this one in the back of the net. Great finish, and it's the 1-2 punch from 1-0 down to 2-1 up now.
He definitely approached perfectly the momentum on his favor. And it's now the John Frank will have to, do something. Maybe switch information, maybe not. Yes, some pause, some tactical pause just to realize what next, to visualize how to perform the kickoff. It's always smart, no, to those pauses, because sometimes we keep going without thinking that much, but especially in this moment after concede 2 goals, it's perfect. So here we'll see kickoff for Frank.
10 minutes until half-time as well. So it might yet be more goals to come in this first half. Frank on the offensive, attacking this right-hand goal. It's the goal scorer at the other end that tries that strike. Gratefully into the hands of Sommer. And Sakti was very realistic, wasn't he? Saying, this is my last chance for the World Finals of 2025. Frank. And he seems to be relishing his opportunities. It's a 3-on-3 at the back here. Here's turnaround goal, straight at Sommer.
He didn't choose the right place to finish with Marcus Thuram. The farthest post seems to be the right option, but he decided the nearest one. Great save by Sommer. It's now Philipp Frank completely surviving to the intense attack by Sakti. We're still having one more before we know the added on minutes by the referee. Harry could be the third one for Sakti, maybe playing on short, but maybe just to confuse his opponent, not playing short. Is Nicolo Varela trying to turn his Lautaro Martinez in a defensive action, blocking that run. 30 minutes added on.
It's Çalhanoğlu again to play it short.
Oh, he finally made it.
Time, but Barella has actually won. Oh, scored! Sakti has scored again!
Wonderful execution on how to perform a corner kick. Right in the kick hand. He lived behind his mark. It was Lautaro Martinez getting into the box. Wonderful cross. And who it is? Marcus Thuram to pull the third one into the box. 3-1. What a way to react from the early lead by Philipp Frank. Big shock in this first half of the game one here at the Inter Milan finals.
I don't think anyone saw this one coming. Least of all, Philipp Frank. It has been a nightmare start to the Inter Club event finals, and he's given the ball away again at the end of the first half. It is Sakti 3, Frank 1. Despite scoring first, it's the young Indonesian that will trail going into the second half.
That's the most change from Frank. One of the problems of playing with 5 center backs is like when you're losing, you cannot have that power, to turn up the tables. And in this case, needs to do something else. Maybe with this position, he will try to get a more consistent possession that we haven't seen so far since the beginning of the match. Sakti somehow has, disabled that control that Philipp Frank always put it on. We check it out, defensive on both fullbacks. And now will be a different story, but pretty interesting. And let's see if that formation, that 4-3-1-2 could be that extra that Philipp Frank needs to overcome. Someone as Sakti that doesn't speak so loud, but at the end of the day, great recovery, great reaction. Now have everything on his hands, Harry, to take the first 3 points of the competition.
It seemed a stroke of genius what he was saying just before the match. We heard it in the video. I try to play defense first. I want to play long ball counter. And after conceding first, you think, oh, maybe he will have to be invited out of his shell a little bit. But no, he's stuck to the game plan. And he is 3-1 up entering this second half, which is now underway. Philipp Frank trails 3-1 here in the Inter home strip, that famous black and blue.
And clear minds, and as we see down the screen, is Sakti playing on blue line, playing one line defensive just to try to be more conservative, concede less, but somehow you give a lot of space to your opponent to control the match. We'll see.
Of course, if it's your first time watching eFootball, we play on console and mobile. That's yet another pocket picked by Sakti, and it's a lovely touch. Oh, and it's wide on his hat-trick. Martinez could not capitalise.
It's clearly the feeling when someone has not the control, when someone has not a good feeling with the gameplay. We saw Philipp Frank defending with the second man rather than switch cursor and defensively one-on-one. Those feelings, Harry says pretty clearly that he's not having a good time now into the stage. We'll see, 30 minutes remaining. Same score is Sakti beating his countrymate the first game here, and seeing how difficult are the group stage, we always say 3 points is massive, for your chances to go to the final.
Frank trying to take as much time on the ball as he can, finds Thuram. Here's Lautaro.
No, he needs something else.
Just ran into traffic there.
He needs to accumulate more players to gain that superiority. Just to remember that those two defensive midfielders for Sakti, it makes no chances to Frank to play comfortably in that zone, and it's been the key so far.
It has indeed, and the man...
Defense, Harry, always defend is the most important thing
the man
at this level.
From console will know that better than most, I think, Alex. Sakti has put on a great performance, and if he can survive this final 20 minutes in the game, he will come away with a great 3 points against one of the toughest players in this group.
Nice pressure now from Frank, but he's not comfortable with
the game so far, aside from the goal he scored for Frank.
And the time's running so fast, no substitution, and that's it. That's the game on mobile. Now the mistake from Frank. Look at the counter, Nico Varela, Harry. That could be the end of the match. Marcos Thuram to the post.
Could have been the dagger. Still alive here, actually, for Sakti. It's Bastoni that steps up, but look, we're in the final 10 minutes now, and he's given the ball away again. Wrestles it back onto his side. Need to start to see those chances come for Frank if he wants anything from this game. You can just see how exhausted his players are.
Sakti now.
There's been no pauses because the ball stayed in play the entire time. No time.
No, it's the perfect scenario for Sakti. Sakti is handling so well the score, and most likely, if nothing happened now, he will secure the 3 points.
No minutes added on, and there it is. Sakti opens his account with a 3-1 victory and 3 points over his